Liverpool 5, Arsenal 1 then is how it finished at Anfield on this occasion. Craig, the scoreline pretty much tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool didn't even have to play at their sizzling best to get 5 goals. We expected Arsenal to be struggling defensively because of their injury problems, and that came home to bear some fruit for them, and it was a disaster. I mean, to take the lead and then to buckle in that manner, particularly the first 2 goals that they lost, where they just went straight through the middle. The first one, Arsenal players couldn't clear it. The second one, Firmino goes past Mustafi first,
yeah, and
then Socrates, 2 hugely experienced defenders who just sort of fall over to the ground, and then he finishes well. And the rest of it was a shambles. The one where they had the corner kick and it was cleared and then it was floated back in, and they're all running out, and then Lichtsteiner gets caught. I mean, it was embarrassing. But as I said yesterday, there's a bigger picture for Arsenal, which is the longer term.
Yep.
But I think just another piece of evidence that there's a lot of work to be done for Emery.
Meanwhile, bigger picture for Liverpool, it's going to be about the title.
Well, when you think you're playing in the late game and Spurs have already lost,
yep,
and then City have to play a day later, albeit at Southampton, but you know, the way they're going, you just never know what's happening. They'll be feeling really good about themselves. As I say, listen, I thought Klopp looked a tad frustrated during the first half because he knew they were a little bit sloppy, but because Arsenal were so poor defensively, it was job done. This is there's been lots of times to be a great time to be a Liverpool fan,
yeah,
with all the success they've had, and our colleague Stevie Nicol knows about that, but this is a really, really good time to be supporting that football club. A
crazy day in the Premier League overall. A lot of reaction to it on ESPN FC, which will be available later today on ESPN+.
It's a sparkling performance, but you did have a bit of an early wake-up call today, Virgil, didn't you?
Yeah, obviously we know there are dangers on the break with the speed up front and the counter-attacks they have, and yeah, unlucky that we conceded, but I think we reacted how we should react, and yeah, deserved obviously every bit of it today.
There was no sense that this was going to turn into a problem day for Liverpool, such as your level of confidence at the moment, Andy. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I think we started well, but you know, a misplaced pass and we get caught out, and you know, they got up the park and scored, but we reacted really well. We got on level terms quite quickly, and from there I think we dominated the game until it was out of sight. So you know, we believed that we'd get back in the game, and the way we're playing just now, we believe we can win every game. So you know, we proved that today.
And on that point, Virgil, do you believe that you are growing even stronger at this stage of the season now?
Yeah, you know, we still need to improve a lot of things, but obviously we are very happy with the situation at the moment, and we want to keep going, keep working hard, and yeah, keep the intensity high, and then make sure we keep doing well, and that's the only thing forward.
Everybody knows how big this Manchester City game is going to be. How do you look upon it?
Yeah, it's a huge one. It's one that probably everyone out with the squad's been looking at. But you know, we've took care of business in December, which is no easy task with the amount of games, and you know, we've knocked them off one by one, and now we go into the new year and we look forward to it. But you know, City's going to be a big game, but you know, we've got a healthy lead, and you know, we look forward to the game. But we know we have to be at 100% to try and get anything from the game, and you know, I'm sure we'll rest now and be prepared for that game.
And going into 2019 as one of the most significant figures in this Liverpool team, what in your mind is possible?
Anything. That's how we should, you know, go out there and play as well. Anything is possible, and obviously you still need to do it on the pitch, but yeah, we're on a good way. We feel good. Obviously it's tough these days, but you know, it's a great time to be a Liverpool player and also a fan, I think, as well.
Just when Spurs fans were starting to hope, lose 3-1 at home against Wolves after being 1-0 up as well. It's an incredible capitulation in the second half.
It's been such a good story, such a good run of results, some great football, some great goals, lots of them. Didn't see this coming, didn't see it coming, could ill afford it to happen, particularly with the Liverpool result and this big fixture coming up. And Liverpool and Man City are going to take points off each other, and you, on paper, have weaker games. Albeit Wolves are a good side, up to 7th now. Still, at home at Wembley against a promoted team, and you let yourself down like that, which I think ultimately is probably going to mean that they're I mean, that's how tight it is. We could sit here 48 hours ago and say, yeah, they're in the title race, and then they lose. And I think most people would concede that they're probably not in the title race now. That's how fine the margins are here. And I think it's one of the reasons why when Spurs fans will say to people, well, you never back us, you guys, you never believe in Spurs, and you're always, you know, you've got to get over the line, and it looks like with that result, they're going to give themselves too much to do again.
Massive blow for Spurs' ambitions regarding the title race. A lot more reaction to what happened at Wembley and indeed at Anfield in the rest of those matches in the Premier League and Italy today, available on ESPN FC, which will be with you on ESPN+.
Harry, desperately disappointing second half. What happened there out on the pitch?
Yeah, no, we just didn't keep the ball well enough. Wolves put the pressure on, and whenever we got it back, we give it straight back to them, and the pressure built and built, and then obviously we conceded one, and from there that really gave them the pressure to go forward, and we got caught on the counter attack. So yeah, disappointing. These are games that we should be winning, so it's a shame that we finished the year the way we have.
Given how dominant you were in the first half and how comfortable you looked, were you shocked at the way things did unfold there?
Well, like I said, the second half, we just didn't keep the ball in our first half. We played well. We still didn't create too many chances, but we had the possession. Second half, we didn't have the same energy as the first, and we got punished for it. So we've only got ourselves to blame.
It's all the most frustrating given the position you got yourselves in this title race.
No, of course. We said we still got a long way to go, but games like this at home are games we should be winning. We know that, so especially when you're 1-0 up. So yeah, very disappointing. But look, we've got a game in 3 days that we have to dust ourselves down and try and get back to winning ways. Yeah,
you'd been on a great winning run. Is it important now just to start another one fresh from here?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, look, it's disappointing, but we've been through a stage in the season already where we lost a couple and we bounced back. So it's important that we do that straight away, and that starts against Cardiff.
And on a personal note, you scored a great goal today, and you're also rewarded in the Queen's New Year's Honours list. What did that mean to you?
No, of course, I said it was an extremely proud moment for me and the family. It's a shame this result today kind of ends the year in a bit of disappointment, but look, like I said, we've got to start the new year 2019 in a positive way, and the only way to do that is to...
Some surprising results right across the board today in the Premier League. The one that certainly stands out if you're a Spurs fan, that 3-1 defeat at home against Wolves. Meanwhile, Everton disappointed after bouncing back against that defeat against Spurs, losing 1-0 against Brighton. Fulham with an important victory against Huddersfield regarding their survival hopes. Cardiff, meanwhile, upsetting the apple cart, beating Leicester 1-0. 1-1 between Watford and Newcastle, and then Liverpool, of course, for that big win at Anfield, beating Arsenal by 5 goals to 1.
Could be worse when you go to bed tonight. You could be Claude Puel, because he...
But you thought he'd done well. You think you beat Chelsea, you beat City, everything's good in the world.
Look, I'd say even when he got into a decent position last year, the Leicester fans were killing him. You know, this style of play, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's horrible to watch. And then he looks as if he's on the precipice, and he breaks the two teams that you mentioned, and he must be getting home like sticking 2 fingers up to the Leicester fans, going, yeah, you'll not be sacking me now. And then at home to Cardiff, you've got to be thinking, what, 3 in a row here, you know, at least this is brilliant, you know, just going to take the pressure off, and he gets absolutely pasted at the end of the game again. It's not even a love-hate relationship with Claude Puel. It's just a hate-hate relationship. I don't think Leicester fans are going to be happy until they get him out, and that result's not going to help.
What else caught the eye today? Obviously Spurs.
Obviously Spurs. Let's just say it now. They're not going to win the title.
Right.
We kind of huffed and puffed about them being in the race because they were playing so well and they were scoring goals.
Mathematically, they're in the race.
Well, yeah, mathematically in the race, but, you know, Spurs seems... Everybody keeps saying this is a Spurs. Spurs will end up dropping off. They're not as good as City and Liverpool, and I think that will be borne out at the end of the season. They're a good side, but every now and again they'll throw in this kind of result, and I think ultimately, particularly the way City played last year and the way Liverpool are playing this year, you can't afford to do that, and that's the reason that they're not going to win it at the end of the year. They were in the race, and I suppose mathematically they still are, but that's 9 points between you and Liverpool to make up over a half a season. Not going to happen.
And Liverpool, of course, in the late game, getting the win. Maybe the manner of the victory is a surprise, but the fact that Liverpool won, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, when you think how horrible Arsenal were going to be defensively with the injuries, and even with a full fit squad, they're never the most solid looking outfit. And then they pitch up. You got Lichtsteiner, who struggled against Brighton. You got Mustafi coming back in after injury, and it looked that way. You got Socrates all over the place, and Kolasinac against arguably the best front three in the moment in the Premier League, and that's what it looked like. You know, from Liverpool's midfield perspective, They gave the ball away quite a lot in the game, but the trouble was they could just get through Arsenal at will, and it was 5-1 going on 7 or 8. It was embarrassing, but there's a big picture for Arsenal, and I think it's a good learning curve, as strange as that seems for Unai Emery, because I think he just look around, he's got the Ozil thing to fix, which I think he will, and he's going to out him. He's got Ramsey going to be leaving, he'll look at who can fit in, he'll look at his defenders and say, right, this is what we need, and if we don't get these players and plug these gaps, this kind of result will happen more often than not. So a really good learning curve for him in a kind of bad sense.
If you like it or not, a lot more from Craig available later today as we reflect in more detail on what happened in the Premier League and Serie A as well. ESPN FC will be available on ESPN+. Welcome into Extra Time. What a day, Craig. Ooh.
You sound strange when you do that.
What? Ooh. Well, it's been quite a day. Who would have thought all this would happen?
A presenter in England, very good one, used to make noises.
Oh yeah? Who was that?
James Richardson.
Oh really?
Well, great guy, but James would do the
Oh.
You're doing the ooh.
You used to work with James, now you work with me.
Well, you know.
What a falling grace.
Slipping down the ladder as we go. You know. Who could be next?
Not a question, just tell Craig I love him. Thumbs up emoji, thanks. Wow. That's a rarity. I don't get many of those.
Oh, we do. I just don't retweet.
How have the Scottish fans been today? I was waiting for some sort of Rangers. Oh, good for Rangers.
I decided not to get too much involved. I did actually watch the second half.
Because when Craig tweets about Celtic, you get abuse.
I get told to stay out of it.
Yeah.
It's not my domain.
No.
I get lots of abuse. As you know, I get most of my abuse from Celtic fans.
Yeah.
Even though
because they feel that you would.
Even though I was very successful there as a player, I didn't toe the party line when I started broadcasting. So I tend to stay away from it, but it was a good win for Rangers. And I know a few of the Celtic fans on my Twitter timeline were not particularly happy with the team's performance today. Let's just say that, but I stay away from it.
Capital letters, how happy is Steve Nicol right now?
Well, to know that, we'd have to know what state Steve Nichol's in right now.
Yeah.
So he's actually off today, so he did phone me earlier, moaning about somebody said in the commentary.
Yeah.
But he was I think it would particularly happy.
Yeah, he was complaining about the Salah penalty, wasn't he?
Yeah,
there was someone said it wasn't
a penalty. He said it definitely was, but he's not been feeling too well at the moment, so you know he's a little bit off colour, isn't he?
I wonder what caused that sort of stomach issue.
It's nothing to do with overindulging at Christmas time, so he's recuperating at home.
Why in the world does Ozil not play in bug games? There is no knock, there never really is. Why is Lacazette not starting up top with Aubameyang when they feed off each other?
Yeah, I'm not surprised Ozil didn't travel or didn't play because he's a passenger and has been, for Arsenal that is, not Germany, he's been a passenger for Arsenal in a lot of the big games in recent seasons. Emery doesn't trust him, so that's no surprise. Expect him to be leaving the club sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I was surprised Aubameyang and Lacazette didn't play today, but not as a front two, but more as Aubameyang playing off the left-hand side where he has played this season, and Lacazette through the middle. But Unai Emery saw it differently. He wanted an extra midfielder in there. He went with Aaron Ramsey and he went with Iwobi on one side and Maitland-Niles on the other, but it didn't work. Where
does Firmino rank among the best Premier League strikers in the Premier League or the world?
Not very high. We know over the piece at the moment.
I don't know. There's no time scale on here.
I mean,
there's quite a few people you'd have ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, certainly, going back to recent history, Luis Suarez was...
No, I don't think that, just now.
All right. Well, I wouldn't call him an out-and-out finisher, you know, like, he's not like an Aguero, but his movement's good, and it suits Liverpool's style. The fact that his movement is excellent, he's big, he's strong, he brings other people into play. He obviously got a hat-trick today, but I wouldn't say he's like a 30-goal-a-season striker, so he suits the way, in fact, he suits perfectly the way Klopp and Liverpool want to play.
Brings us on nicely to...
Why you always get that little... You always get that little grin in your face.
Because I know what the next question is and I know what the answer is going to be.
No!
Who had the worst day in Fantasy League among you? And because you thought you had Firmino and was celebrating the fact.
Yeah, well, there's two Fantasy Leagues.
Yeah, we do the Premier League one and the ESPN one.
Yes, I don't know about the ESPN one because I've not clicked on the app. Because I'm playing Alexis Nunez and I'm frightened to click on in case I've lost. Which I think I may have because she captained Hazard in midweek and he got 66 points. But I did think I had Firmino. I was rubbing my hands and then I clicked on our Premier League one and I realised I'd sold him a week or two ago. And I got Aubameyang and Kane and Marcus Rashford, who plays tomorrow.
Now, I did my Fantasy League, the ESPN one, on Christmas Day. where maybe some champagne would be drunk because I made Hugo Lloris captain.
Yes.
And I'm not quite sure how that happened.
It's funny because I made Ederson mine when City lost at home to Crystal Palace.
Yes, yeah.
You can't see these things coming.
Well, I didn't mean to put Lloris as captain. Why did I do that?
Who were they playing?
Well, they were playing what? Who did they play today? Wolves?
Yeah.
And then...
They played Bournemouth recently.
Bournemouth, yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Well, because you would expect someone else to get more points. I would have captained Kane or Salah, I imagine.
Oh, as your captain?
Yes.
Sorry. Oh, well, you never know. He could have come up, take some penalties.
Well, yes, I'm sure that would have
Oh,
happened.
sorry. I thought it was just a goalkeeping issue.
No, it wasn't a goalkeeping.
You actually made him captain?
Yes.
How many champagnes?
Too many. What should
Or did your dog do it? Did you just get a dog's paw?
Let's get plain Poppy. What should I get for takeaway? Oh, we were just talking about curry. A butter chicken or chicken tikka?
Yeah, you got to go spicy.
Yeah, I'd go something a bit
Got to go
spicier.
spicy.
Yeah.
Got to go proper.
Jalfrezi.
Yeah. A jalfrezi's not bad. You got to go Madras or Vindaloo.
Yeah, butter chicken's a bit creamy, isn't it? It's a bit cornery.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have that kind of chicken, then save yourself some money, boil some
But then
rice.
you had to go at me because I had a curry when we went for time.
If you're having the buttered chicken, save yourself some time and money. Just butter a chicken at home, boil some rice.
Butter a chicken at home.
Boil some rice. Boil the chicken, butter some rice. Boil the chicken, boil the rice,
Right.
and put some banana yogurt on top of the chicken. Save
Oh,
yourself
see?
Right, save yourself some money.
But Thai curry is still spicy. We're going back to my Thai issue here.
No, Thai curries are not
It
spicy.
is spicy.
If you're going to have a curry, you should only ever be allowed to eat an Indian curry.
No, that's a ridiculous statement. It's nice.
When I was moving over here, I was talking to an Indian friend of mine at a golf club in Nottingham, and I was saying, where am I going to get a curry in Connecticut? I don't think there's that many around. And he said he suggested I get them. He said there's a place in New York.
Oh, just.
And I'm like, I'm not that desperate. He said they fly them in curries.
Really?
And I'm like,
because Stevie gets a lot of things flown over from Britain,
Yeah.
like all his crisps, all his chips,
chocolates.
and chocolates. And
Well,
sweets.
when Stevie, should we speak out of turn here?
I think that's
When
never stopped us before.
when Stevie's wife goes to, not all the time, when she goes to the UK, she takes a suitcase. Inside a suitcase,
Yeah.
this is true,
Yeah.
and obviously she brings back 2 suitcases, but one of them have got the clothes, and the other suitcase, a large suitcase, full 20 kilo allowance suitcase, full boona, is filled full of candy.
Yeah, crisps.
Crisps, and then he takes them to eat at night in his bed,
Yeah.
and then crisps are just all over the house. And then he wonders when he rolls over at night, it just starts crunching. It's all very hygienic. Never get a chance to go around there and stay, take a sleep bag, just in case Stevie's been sleeping in the spare room eating crisps.
All true, by the way. Thank you very much. Stevie's with us tomorrow.
Don't tell him it's
As is. Why aren't you here tomorrow? What are you doing?
Sunday I'm off.
Yeah.
As for what I'll be doing, well, you never know.